How you guys doing? It's your boy AD, aka Weapon X Dawkins. That's how you'll find me on any football fantasy platform. I'm so excited. Today is the first game of the season, so I'm here to talk to you guys about fantasy football. And it's probably your last chance to draft. Maybe you've already drafted. I'm just gonna tell you who you should definitely should have drafted in the first round if you're past the first 5 picks. It's my guy Travis Kelce from the Kansas City Chiefs. That's an easy pick right there. I think he's the #1 consensus tight end in fantasy, and I think he's definitely gonna pass his ADP on most platforms. He's the guy with the most volume in the offense for Kansas City, the most explosive offense with Patty Mahomes. I think he'll easily give you around 300 points in PPR leagues at the end of the season. And I feel like the gap between him, Zach Ertz, and Kittle is considerable, and after that it is humongous. So that is one position that is crucial in most fantasies, and that's where you'll get most of your advantage. Whereas if you draft running backs or wide receivers, there's a lot more people to pick from, and the gap between those players will be a lot smaller, and the advantage for you to win week in, week out won't be so high. If you pick Kelce in the end of the first round or early second round, you already have an advantage, because let's say you pick him in the first, in the second you can go for a wide receiver or a running back. Alright guys, so this leads me to my sleepers, talking about Travis Kelce. Why? Because Kelce will be your #1 tight end, so you clearly have an advantage at tight end. Now, you might be losing on guys like DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams, Dalvin Cook. Pick. So, what I'm already thinking about is later down the draft, where you can pick guys that are gonna have great seasons that will feed your lineup, and you're gonna be able to start week in, week out. One of the first 2 guys, his name is D.D. Westbrook, wide receiver of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Nick Foles is now there. He can pretty much spin the ball. You got Leonard Fournette, who should be in one of your top running backs this year, because he will ball out. And you can get D.D. Westbrook around round 5 or 6 usually. So I think that's a #1 wide receiver you can get later down the list. So let's say you pick Travis Kelce, then you have to go to a running back. You can pick your running backs and then still pick really good wide receivers towards the end. Another wide receiver you can pick towards the later rounds is Mike Williams. Mike Williams is a wide receiver from the Chargers, who I think will supplant Keenan Allen by mid-season. I feel like Mike Williams and Phillip Rivers are really developing a great rapport, and he'll definitely start balling out and probably putting up great numbers. And I believe both D.D. Westbrook and Mike Williams will be putting top 15 with numbers for wide receivers in fantasy. Now, since we're talking about the Chargers, another running back, let's say you don't go with a running back early and you need a running back late in your rounds. Austin Eckler is also a great pickup later in rounds. He's usually going right now in round 6, round 7. And I think volume-wise, since Melvin Gordon isn't there, and I don't think Melvin Gordon will be there, he'll probably be traded. Or by the time he'll sign, it'll be too late. I think Austin Eckler will put up great numbers this year. He's athletic, back. And I believe he'll probably be a running back 2, if not a running back 1 by the end of the season. Alright guys, so these are a couple of guys that you guys can keep an eye on. The other thing is, most people in most drafts that I've drafted this year, in about 12 drafts I believe, Patrick Mahomes has gone in the 3rd or 4th or 2nd round, which is insane for me, because I don't think he will regress. He'll still have one of the greatest seasons, but I think guys like Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, Carson Wentz, Phillip Rivers will have that much of a better season, which will lower the gap between QBs. And you only need 1 quarterback in each league usually, unless you play with a big roster where you usually have 2 QBs, then that's a different story. But in most standard PPRs, you get one QB. And there's a lot of explosive QBs out there that you can pick later on in round 6, 7, where you can build your team from a running back, wide receiver position that will give you depth and it will give you almost guaranteed points every week. So don't be pulling the quick trigger on Patty Mahomes. That's what I'm telling you. Alright? Guys, if you like this video and you want to hear more about fantasy football, I love fantasy football. I could talk about it every single day for hours. Please subscribe, and you can ask me any questions down below in the comments. I'll be gladly to answer about trades, guys you should start, maybe trades you could definitely try to make happen throughout the season. I'll be coming out with some new videos throughout the season about defensive players, leagues that have defensive players like the defensive linemen, linebackers, safeties. I love to play in those leagues because it really makes you really do your study as a fantasy GM. We'll also be talking to you about different platforms and why I really like Sleeper.app and what I've been doing in the last 2 years. So guys, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you and see you soon.